Pick Computer Science video number 9, looking at the functions of operating systems. So what might we recognise as operating systems? We might recognise them as places on our computer where we can go to make settings, etc. Or load up programs and applications, or to sort files. We might recognise that Microsoft Windows provides an interface to the computer for the user, such as touchscreen technologies. We might recognise operating systems such as Apple Mac OS X or Linux with its many flavours such as Ubuntu. We'll certainly recognise operating systems for smartphones such as Android or iOS for the iPhone. You may have had experience with server versions of operating systems, or even some older user interfaces for operating systems, such as IBM AS400. But what is important here is that you know what you need to know on operating systems for the exam. So what are the key things? Well, they are the purposes of an operating system, and there are 4 to remember. Purposes of the operating system, why do we have them? Well, it's to manage our hardware. It's to provide a user interface to the computer's user. It's to provide an interface to applications so that we can install programs on top of our operating system. And it's to provide security. What does this all mean? Well, hardware management could be the management of memory resources, including the data and jobs passing through RAM. Well, I'm sure there are others that you can think of. It might involve a printer, or it may involve a monitor or some sound through a sound card into some speakers. So I'm sure there's lots of examples of where an operating system manages hardware, installing a new scanner, possibly. The user interface. Well, we've seen some examples, and there's some further down, 2 very different examples. But either of those are there to provide an interface between the human user and the machine. If the human has no way of using the computer, what possible use could it be to us? This could be thought of diagrammatically like this. Our OS provides an applications interface. There's our Windows desktop with hardly any programs or applications installed. There it is again, but with lots of useful programs on there. So the operating system's got to be on there first, the desktop's got to be there first before we can install things like web browsers and Office programs. So it's the job of the OS to provide an interface between applications and hardware so they can communicate with each other. So applications can do something useful with the hardware, such as print or save a file to disk. So our diagram evolves to include that layer too. Finally, the operating system needs to provide security, especially when there could be multiple users of an operating system. You've probably got experience of creating accounts on home computers. If you're interested in doing some more reading on operating systems, you might delve into the world of operating systems such as Unix, or even surely the greatest operating system of all time, the PIC operating system. Hope that video was useful and you can remember the stuff that is key to the exam. Bye.